What's happening, peeps? All right, let's get in the comments. What is going on, folks? Bassing with Big Malone. How you been, buddy? I hope you're doing well. I saw a picture of you with some bass in your hands the other day. I don't get to see. Carl, what's happening? Carl, is it Caroline, Line, or Caroly? And Liz, what's up? Brendan Brown, what's happening, dude? Yeah, you guys, it's funny. I had to go to parent teacher conferences for some of the boys, the Murphy boys tonight, and I'm like, you know what? I said I'm gonna jump on when I get home. So I was packing up an order for, I don't want to show his address, for Larry Hadley. um, yeah, how is everyone? You guys, it's been a long time. Carl, Tao Bass Life, HB, what's up, brother? It's funny because HB asked me, we talked recently, Brendan Brown and Mainstream asked about shows recently, and I'm like, it's busy, with school being back. And then, my own boys' activities, it's just been really hectic. So, and what I've been doing, I've been making a lot of jigs. So, um, yeah, most of you guys know I started putting out my own line of jigs, those micro footballs. It's got like a 1-aught hook in them. I love them. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. So, but that's what I've been doing. So, I've been tying a lot, and it's taking a lot of time. Andrew, fishing the 262. Anthony, Bass and Big Malone. What's happening, guys? It's taken up so much time. So basically, I just wanted you guys to hear because you haven't heard from me in a while, right? And I'm not gonna lie. It's mostly because I wanted to take a break this summer, like I told you guys all that, and then like transitioning into going back to school and stuff. It's just been hectic. There's lots of things like parent teacher conferences and all these other things. Tom Morehouse, what's going on, buddy? Mario mugging him up, Bucktails himself. What's going on, buddy? Yeah. So like I just haven't been around, and I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't been in like the YouTube show vibe, right? Like I'm sorry to tell everyone this, but the old format of like doing so many interviews, those I love it. Maybe I'll do some in the future, but I just want to get on a BS with people and talk. Don't try stealing our possible guests, right, bro? You guys listen. I'll tell you, I love going on people's shows, and I'll tell you why. Um, and Liz, you still in here? Like Liz was awesome because she said the other. I hopped on Debo's stream, and it's like a Saturday night thing. So like if I'm home, it's perfect. And and Liz goes on there, have Cuda on again, And I was laughing because I'm appreciative of Keith. What's going on, buddy? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I miss you guys. I don't know what to say. Like it's so funny, you guys. When I used to do this upstairs, and I put that Cuda, like we have that in our like family room. I would bring it upstairs and I'd put it on the wall, and like I would have this whole thing that I would go through and changing stuff out for the set. And then I started doing it down in the basement, and where my lab is, and like guys, listen, I have no problem hiding it. Look at this is my lab right now. There is boxes all over the damn place, and it's okay. I don't care if I'll show people anything. It's just yeah, I don't know what to say. And so like I have like cool lights that I can use and all this other stuff. I literally turn the lights on in the basement down here, and these ones behind me, I'm like, let's just blow this out on the laptop and not even worry about it. So I don't know, guys, I've been good. Some people asked about me. I want anyone who sees this to know that I have tried reaching out to, I know people are asking about Small Jaw. I don't know if you guys know Small Jaw on YouTube. I've reached out to him. I haven't heard back from him. So I don't know what the deal is. I'm going to do some more checking. I have another way of connecting with some family, and I'm going to try too. So I'll try and update people on anything else I hear, but I have not heard from him. So people are asking about Small Jaw. I have not heard from him. And so for any of you who don't know Small Jaw, he's a guy who's been making jigs on YouTube for a lot of years. And he's kind of been MIA, and people don't know where he's at. So I'm checking on them. I texted them. I haven't heard back from them, so we'll find out what else. What else gets said? Liz, are you talking about that for Brown? Or are you asking for me about the marshmallows? Because that's a absolutely hilarious comment. So yeah, what have I been doing? So I literally have been making only football jigs, these micro football jigs that I absolutely love. Here, I'll show you. I'm getting low, guys. I'm just going to be honest. I have hundreds more coming, but I just want to show you so you guys see what this is. I'll see if you guys can see on the camera. Of course, this stupid ass light. I'll turn that light up so you guys can see. So basically, 1/0 hook. It's a Mustad hook, 1X strong, but this is one of the stoutest Mustad hooks. So basically, the features of this is it's going to have very similar to what you would see in the Smeltinator with the ribbing here, and it's got the wire keeper, 60-degree eye. So this is what I've been making. Wow, I freaking look like I just got jumped by a bunch of shamrocks. Yeah, Liz, listen, hey, I'll tell you, Liz, this is the honest to God truth. I have a friend down in Florida using these, and they've been working really well on the peacock bass. So we'll connect and we'll talk about like some colors or like anything you want. The hook is ridiculously stout. It's almost like I've had some friends that say it's almost to the point where they think it's like too big for like northern smallmouth in terms of like the diameter of it. But it's so good. And I have some saltwater friends that like it too. So I'm only telling you that just so you kind of get an idea, because I don't want to bullshit people. Guys, I tell everyone all the time, I've been making jigs for 25 years, 30 years. I'm 50 years old. It's the only jig I've ever sold. You know what I mean? So HB. Yeah, looks like Breaking Bad. It did. I can change it to blue next time, Hellabass. I should change it to blue. So we're looking really, that would do it. All right. So Tom asked Tom, and that's a good question. So actually it's so funny because I'm going more straight tail. So I've always liked the Zoom finesse worm and breaking off pieces of it and putting it on as a trailer. I like straight trailers on jigs. I just do. But you could use anything on the back end of it. You want to use a paddle tail, you can. I'm making these jigs with the full length from the top of the head. So like here, let me pull one out. So this is in a Larry Hadley package that's going out tomorrow. So like, oh yeah, actually this is kind of cool because I could show you. You could do a double tail grub, but you guys got to understand they're deceiving in the picture because they're small, right? And I cut these and you guys are going to be the first ones to get to see this. It doesn't look that great, but this is my bluegill color. And you notice how the flare is on this, but the reality is the feature of this is the way I tie it. You're going to get more flare up towards the body, right? And then you're going to have this kind of pushed in a little bit. Excuse me. This will be pushed in a little bit as it goes to the water. So it's going to have like a little bulk. It's going to look a little bulkier than it really is. But from head to bottom of the skirt, it's at 2 inches. And Anthony's in chat. So Anthony's saying, okay, trailers. Tom Moore's asked about trailers. Anthony's saying he's doing really well. Anthony had an order in with me, and he has his jigs. He's doing really well with the 2.8 Kitex in the middle bait net. So great. Ned is another one. So you can either go straight tail. You can go with literally any jig that you want. But to be completely honest, you know what I designed this jig around? I wanted to have a trailer that was going to hang out the back. All the Max sent, it's not the little Trooper. What's the latest one that came out? What the heck is the name? I don't have them down in the basement. It's not the little Trooper. It's the Craw, but it's got a flanged arms. The arms are flanged. Anything that you have in those smaller bait files works. So Brendan says that Jermaine ordered some too. Hold on, let me see. I don't even have my freaking mouse plugged in. I got to use the little bit. So Brendan's saying that mainstream fishing, Jermaine is freaking out about the jigs. Did he get them, Brendan? Liz, TRD craw would work really well. Brown, if you do the 3-inch chigger craw, it'll work, but you have to break off like that almost first almost the first 1.5 sections of the chigger craw. It's almost too big for it, dude. The chigger craw. You got to go small. The TRD craw would work, Liz. Yes. Flatworm, yes, Brent. You can use any size of the flatworm. I personally used I actually use both, to be honest with you, up in Sturgeon Bay on smallmouth. But like I said, the entire size of the profile from top of the head to this part of the skirt, the bottom part of the skirt, is 2 inches. And I literally pull out the ruler, and I'm just used to it because I know what it is. And the cool thing about this, guys, Liz, everything in that realm, so if you want something that's going to flap a little bit, so this is what I want to tell you guys. So like, here's a feature of a jig that here's some things that people don't talk about, right? Little trooper, that's it on the fly. Yeah, Malone, I appreciate it. A little Old Forester for me tonight. Brennan, I do the same thing. So here's one thing I want to tell you guys about these jigs. So the way I tied them purposely is I wanted to have a bulkier profile in here, up here, and here. And so when it's going to condense down, you're still going to have like this short little fat bodied bait fish profile. Even though it's a football jig, there's 2 features of this, right? I have friends that are swimming this more than what I originally designed it for, which was shallower, river fishing. So it works really well in ponds. Because of the flare. Now keep in mind, guys, I don't have a weed guard on this. I don't have a weed guard, but the thing is, with that flare on there, you're going to get some resistance, right? Let me see if I can get that closer. So it's almost in line with it. And it's just a little bit. It's just enough. And the way you accomplish that is how you tie it. And I'm not going to get into that because if you know, you know. No, Malort. I'm not drinking that. Malort tastes horrible. Liz, did you ever have Malort back in the day? This is, what's it called? Like Jepson's? I keep going to grab a mouse. I have a mouse next to here, but I'm not using it. So here's one thing. So as we're talking, so one thing that I like to do when I trim skirts is I don't always trim them even, but on these I wanted to do that because the function is jig. I didn't want a longer trailer. But one thing you'll see, a lot of times people will hold a jig and you see how the hook here is actually angled, right? It's angled like this. They'll trim their skirt when the jig's angled like that. I don't like to do that. I like to make sure the shank of the hook is vertical, and then I try and trim from there. And it's weird because this is literally the only jig that I try and clean up. And the reason is because I wanted exactly a 2 inches profile. The Little Kings, right? It's the worst thing I've ever tasted. So you guys, if you've never tasted Malort, I had friends that moved out to California for a while, and Malort became like a big thing. Like they all wanted to try it. It was like a party trick. They'd pull it out. But you guys, the thing is, you get, I don't know, I love these jigs. I love to swim them. I love to let them drop on the outside of weed lines. Anthony's in chat. Anthony, you've been catching fish on these. Is it just smallmouth or you've been catching largemouth on them too? So in mainstream, I don't know. I should go up. I have all the shipping stuff upstairs, so I don't know if he got mine. So I have, OTF. Yours starts tomorrow night after I get home from my son's football game. Just FYI. So you're next on the docket. But you guys, it's crazy. I'm just shocked at how it's gone. And I didn't get on tonight to just exclusively talk about that. But if you are interested in any jigs, I charge $6 a piece for them. If you order $100 worth of jigs, it's free shipping. So I don't know. Are they cheapest things in the world? No. And my time's not the cheapest thing in the world either. The colored ways, if you message me on Instagram, or if you don't have Instagram and you email me, I'll send you pictures of all the colorways, and they're all labeled so you can see what they all are. I am releasing all these colors now, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. All I'm going to do is there's a pile of them on the desk right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this, and then I'm just going to move away. I'm just going to tell you, after those are gone, I don't know if I'm going to release all the colorways. And here's why. Because at some point when you're a jig maker, like, you got to get ahead, right? And what that means is you got to be able to make things consistently. And it's a time thing. And I want to get to that point. But even if you're just interested in seeing the colorways, message me on Instagram and I'll show it to you. I don't want to waste everyone's time. I've posted almost all the pictures of them along the way, and if you have questions, I'll always help out. But I'm waiting for the next large order of jigs to come in. So it is what it is. But I will say this, because I was doing Instagram and talking about or YouTube for a while, and I was talking about all this stuff, I said, you know what? I said, I don't mind doing like custom orders, meaning of colors I make for people that have been around and asking all these things, and I feel like I owe it to you guys to say, I've been showing all these damn pictures. I owe you um, an opportunity to jump in on colorways that I may stop making and they may not come out for 6-8 months, but I want to do that because you guys have been good to me, at least being supportive. And I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. Frank, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, Mario, there's a couple I have in that category that are like gold green, like ones. Yeah, I love them. Like guys, as much as I like the jig head on this, like this was all about the colorways to me. Like I wanted to make Liz, I appreciate it. Everything was supposed to be about a degree of translucency. Um, I don't know. It was me. Like I spent all this time the last year and a half doing interviews with people talking about freaking making jigs, and I go, gosh, I post pictures of some things I make. I go, but man, I need a chance to just make things I make. But in order to put things out, I needed to make sure they worked, and you guys, I almost released these earlier, and I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm just gonna say it. I originally had a victory hook in here, and the points were rolling on it. And I'm not knocking victory hooks. I'm just straight up telling you my experience. I love victory hooks, and a lot of them have been really good to me. But when the size hook that I had in here, the smaller size hook on this head, if it even looked at a rock, the hook point rolled, and I wasn't happy with it. And that's it. And so I went to Mustad. I use victories for other things. I got lots of Neds and victory hooks, but I can't lie to you guys. I can't. And that's just the truth. It is what it is. And so, JP, what's going on, buddy? Frank, what's going on, dude? Frank. I'm gonna figure it out in time. Frank's in Canada. He wants me to ship stuff, and it's like freaking pulling teeth trying to for a new guy to sort out how to do all that. Andrew says, I'll knock victory hooks for you anytime you need it. But listen, dude, you have to admit, Andrew, they are freaking sticky sharp, and they have a lot of ones that I've had a lot of fun with too. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, I can't sell stuff. I can't sell stuff and have hook points roll. I can't do it. Why? Because I might miss it, and I would feel I can't. I needed what I felt was the best at the time, and this hook is the best of what I had success with. So I don't know, guys. Listen, I don't care anymore. It's like, funny. Somebody asked me, are we going to do memberships on YouTube? I'm not, guys. YouTube, I don't have the time for it with the jig making right now. I do want to get on. I would even like to get some of you guys on sometime and just do like a little round robin and just BS some night. How many have I sold? A couple hundred. That's what I'll say. There are a lot more coming though. So there are a lot more coming. And I actually, funny enough, I just started having conversations about the winter shows already because I'm new. I'm slow. I don't tie as fast as other people. I don't know, guys. I can't lie to you. Like, I have to tell the truth. Like, I'm very meticulous about things, but I shouldn't say I have to increase my speed because I like what I do. Like, I like sitting down at night and then tying some jigs and not having to go fast and furious. It's a good pace for me. I enjoy it. I have a friend that actually wants me to make some of the Do It Molds hybrid grass jigs. And you guys, listen, I still love my Do It Molds. I'm a jig maker, right? And I just haven't had time. So Eric B, if you're seeing this, my man, I'm still gonna make you some of those swim jigs. Make like a little live auction cuda. Yeah, Matt, that might be an idea. I want to. You guys listen. I'm just gonna tell you guys so you know I'm not 100% going away on YouTube. I'm not doing it. Like I like to talk. I can talk to anybody, and I just want to hang out. I want to go on and visit with Hellabass. Jimbo Slice, what's up, buddy? I want to go on and jump in with Brown Bait Company and Mainstream. And I'm just gonna say that a lot of people have been good to me. I don't know, man. The grind is real. And guys, I'm gonna tell you something. I am not a kiss ass. Like, I am not going to blow smoke at people and trying to play this game about I I I could care less whether my YouTube channel grows. I'm just being honest. I love talking to people. I love being honest. I love making jigs. The jig making has saved me to finally say I was going to put something down. I told you guys it wasn't, and I said never say never, but I didn't want to. And I finally said, I want to leave something behind. I want to put my stamp out there. I want to put something that's me's. No, Liz, you have always cracked me up because you say what you want. I appreciate that. Keith, yeah, dude, you know what, dude? I'm an average Joe. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of good YouTubers. Like you guys all know the people. You see me on their shows, whether it's a chat or anything else. I love all these people, So it is what it is. But I don't like to conform. I live my life conforming every day, and when it comes to this, I don't want to. I don't want to get in the showboating. Like I want to be the silent assassin. That's what I want to do. And I don't know. I just appreciate it. I can care less. I don't care if you buy jigs for me. They're $6, But even if someday you say, "Hey, I want to get a couple of your jigs," I'm going to tell you something. They even look cool in a little package. Like they're little cool jigs, and with a crazy stout hook, and they work on smallmouth and largemouth. And otherwise, I wouldn't have put them out. And I spent almost a year testing them. Yeah, Matt, you're right. Matt does a lot of reviews and stuff, and it's the best way to go. I just appreciate the people that are out there doing it and putting in time. And but I'm telling you guys, somebody asked me, they're like, "Oh, are you going to start a company?" No, I don't want to start a company. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna sell jigs. I'm gonna claim it on my taxes so I can earn my final credits for Social Security. This is the truth. And I just want to put shit out that no one else is putting out. How many rods have you made fishing the 260? Oh, yeah, Tom's asking Andrew. Andrew's a good rod maker. I don't know if he makes for other people, but he makes rods. But I miss you guys. I came home tonight. I'm like, man, I feel like I've been busy this week. Parent teacher or open houses. Anthony's bought some jigs. So if you ever want to, if you want firsthand opinion on what are they working on, I have tons of pictures that people send me, but I don't put them out there. So Keith, they're 1/8 ounce, and that's the only one I make. 1/8 ounce with a 1/0 hook, and it's a stout 1/0 hook though, so it can handle any fish you want. But here's what I want to tell you: weighed out, that jig weighed out. Like I said, I've got that stupid light in front of it. Let me go like this. Weighed out, that jig weighs 3/16 of an ounce, almost exactly. Matt, if you have experience with that and you think that's a way to go, then let's talk. Because I have kids, right? And I could put they're smart boys. I can put them on shipping. I just never thought about doing it. I'm like, I don't know. You guys, if you know anyone that knows websites and wants to do that, I like this whole other thing. Just send me a message and I run through, and I want to do it legitimately because I want to claim it on taxes, right? I really do, because it earns my Social Security credits, because you don't earn Social Security credits as when you're in education. It's just how it is. So all right, Matt, we're gonna talk, buddy. Yeah, but you guys, I will tell you something. I just want to put out something I believe in, and that's it, And I don't know. Like I said, it is what it is, and that's keep that. So the only reason I'm putting that out, this is the truth, is I don't want to put something out that somebody else already has, and no one else has this in this size. The Missile Baits has a finesse jig. There's a lot of nice finesse jigs out, football jigs, to be honest with you, but no one had it exactly like this. And more importantly, Liz, I cracks me up. I inherently it's about the colorways to me. So even though this is a unique jig, I've collaborated with somebody in the industry on it. He's my friend. He has the same exact design, but in larger sizes. He doesn't sell this size, but we collaborated because he had the design that was the best out there. And he doesn't want all the fame and publicity about it, but I've said it before on some of the shows. I want to put the colorways is what I'm after. And like, ask Anthony, he'll say in chat, he sent me a message after he got his order. He goes, these are way better in my, like the colorways are way better when I have them in front of me than they even look online. So, Keith, I will tell you this. I honestly think this one on hook will hold up. It'll hold up to some flounder. I think, to be honest with you, I think Larry Hadley's going to put them to the test, a few of them, on some flounder. But I'm going to tell you straight out, I just question the larger flounder. I don't know if it's going to hold up, but I will say this. It's about the diameter of the hook is large enough where I couldn't go to a 2-aught because I wouldn't have said that I was okay with it for smallmouth fishing. You know, that's the truth. So, but it is stout. It's stout. You'll see the hook. You'll be kind of shocked. But I will tell you this. I definitely would fish these in the saw. I wouldn't have any problem about using that hook size in the saw. But for bigger fish or bigger snook, I think you're risking. Well, let's see. Here, let me show you. What do I have over here? This is crazy. You guys never get to see me show these things. Let me see what I got here. Little goodies. So this is a that is a 4-aught Gamakatsu 604 in an 1/8 ounce freestyle head. I use these for saltwater. Let me show. Let's see how the other colors show up. I know I look like you're not gonna see all the colorways, but I had a whole bunch of these poured. I poured these and I Sally Hansen the heck out of the heads. And look at the size of that hook on that baby. That's a 4-aught Gami 604 on an 1/8 ounce head. And then of course, you know, here just as a comparison, like I think this is a 4-aught in the it is. So I'll show a 1/8 ounce and 1/4 ounce. I made these in. So you guys hold on. Let's see if I can get this even here. Look at the head size differences. Let me see if I can hold it even. It looks like the white one's ahead a little bit. I'll hold it back. But that here, right here, I'm holding them dead even. It looks like the white one's ahead, but I'm holding them dead even. So I made 1/4 ounce and 1/8 ounce in the 4-aught Gamakatsu, and that was my snook. Those are my snook jigs when I was down in Florida. So I know, and I wanted the 1/8 ounce for like swim. For paddle tails and things like that. And I put those eyes on and I probably did like 3 coats of Sally Hansen's over the top. So Matt says, I'll message you the site that I used recently, Kuda. I bought a domain myself for something I'm working on. Still need to build the site though, but hoping to have it running by November. And, you know, Matt, it's interesting you say that. And I hate to ruin the people that like to take names out there and like website names from people and hold them hostage. But I bought the jigsquad.com domain name. So I'm not worried about losing that because I purchased that and I'll have it for several years. So I've already got it. So which is nice, you know. So whatever happens, Liz is saying no problem catching snook and juvenile tarpon on a 2-aught 3/8 ounce jig head with a 3-inch NLBN paddle tail. You know, Liz, it's interesting you said that. I'm a big fan of the NLBN stuff. I haven't used the 3-inch as much. I'm looking around. I got boxes everywhere. I'm looking to see where my box of NLBN stuff. Hold on, Liz. Let me grab it. I think it's over here. I just want to show you. Where is it at? Oh, here we go. All right, I got it. Just so you guys know I'm not bullshit. So, Liz, funny enough, I don't have any of the 3-inch paddle tails anymore, but I do have the smaller size. These actually work great on bass. I do have the smaller size mullets. These are, I don't know if they call them little mullets. Maybe it's like 4-inch. These are phenomenal. I love these things, but they're great for bass. So if you're a smallmouth person, I don't say this often, but you heard it tonight. And let's see, Liz, I got a lot of colors. Like I got the paddle. Hold on, mullets. What do I have down here? I think these are all mullets in here. Paddle tails. Where are they at? I don't know. I had a whole bunch of hooks too, Liz. I don't know where they're at. I love the NLBN stuff. They actually, Tim Manor, what's going on, buddy? They actually have, Liz, an 1/8 ounce. They actually have an 1/8 ounce head now for the 3-inch paddle tails from NLBN. They're expensive. I mean, but for what they are, they're that big old hook. I mean, they're kind of nice. So there's my spiel with NLBN. I'm a big fan of these guys. JP, yeah. I miss all you guys. I don't get to see everyone. So I don't know, guys. That's the sales and business end of things. And I'll tell you, the other thing that I'll show you all the finished ones are upstairs. I actually have. These aren't all of them, but I'm going to show you a couple. So, and I don't mind telling people this, but you guys, let me turn that light off again. So this is I don't know if it's 1 out or 2 out, I forgot. But look at that thing. This is basically this is what I was calling a slider head. There's the bottom, and then here's the top. All right, I'll show you a different angle so you can kind of see what it looks like. Right? These are awesome. So basically what these are, guys, let me explain this because people have been asking about this. So these are fucking Hulk smash. Sorry. So basically, you guys, those are bonefish jigs. They've been around forever. Maybe the Florida people know this, but they're bonefish jigs, and so I just call them a slider jig. Am I telling you where I get them? No, I'm not. Sorry. If you're interested, you'll figure it out. But they're great little jigs, and the thing is, they're made for slider jigs or bonefish jigs. They're available readily throughout Texas and Florida. I just decided to repurpose them with skirts on them, and I have 2 colors in those, and I'm sorry I don't have them down here right now. But one I called the Deal, which is meant as green pumpkin, a little blue iridescence, and some purple. And it's meant to imitate the Deal color from Z-Man. So I have those available, actually. It's the same thing, $6. I have those all tied up. They're ready to go. And then I also have one other color. It's basically like a multicolor green pumpkin. So I've used 3 different green pumpkins to come up what I call Trinity. And then, but in the slider heads, it's actually painted with green pumpkin special, which is, I don't know. I don't think I have a sample up here. It's basically green pumpkin with some orange and purple flake in it. It looks really good. And I make a Trinity football that's all green pumpkin, but it has a green pumpkin head. So, but like I said, if you want, I can send pictures and stuff like that. So if you message me on Instagram, if you don't have Instagram, email me at Jig Squad Fishing and I could show you. So, Gary's saying that style is the best for burning a jig. They don't roll. No, they don't. And, what's funny about them, Gary, I'll talk about them a little more. I know, Larry, the apples, right? What's cool is, in lighter weights, you actually will get them to hover a little bit. And it's kind of deceiving because they don't really hover. But what you will get if you pop them off the bottom, you'll pop them off the bottom, and those are 1/8 ounce the size. They will float down and kind of on an angle. And yeah, Liz is saying she's throwing a shatter signer pattern 90% of the time here. Yeah, I mean, you know what? And to be honest with you, once you get like a certain pattern out, like what all these other things, I'll be honest with you, they're just alternatives of what already works, right? So like Liz, when you say shiner, are you talking like white, blackish, grayish, little metallic maybe? Generally in that range of colors. Like as long as you're in that range, I mean, what bait fish doesn't look like that? All of them do, So like when we start throwing black and blue and all these other things, those are all like standout colors. So it's a different animal, but I'm telling you, the whole Gary's saying it's good on rip wraps since it glides more. Yes, Gary, that's That's why I decided to tie these up with skirts for smallmouth. Frankly, on the Great Lakes, I'm sure you can use them on largemouth, or somebody talked about using some ledge fishing. But I saw these, and years ago, you know, a lot of the bonefish guys will make this. They'll all be made with like bucktail predominantly, and then you'll get guys like Bugs Jigs down in Texas. He'll make them with rabbit, fur, and lots of real cool jig makers out there. But I said, well, frickin', I haven't seen anyone making these with silicone. Let's just make them with silicone. I actually have some pictures up on Instagram, but if you need any, send me a message and I can always send you pictures of them again. But I already have those made. So if you're interested in jigs and you want to add some of those on, just let me know. But they're two colors in standard. The deal is a good color. Not big, it's a green pumpkin with a little bit of baitfish coloring in it. And then the other one is like a straight green pumpkin. And I made those two colors. I'm like, that's what people want. And they're it's like a smallmouth type of thing. So Tom actually ordered, Tom has some of my jigs. Let me go up to Tom. What did Tom say here? I could see the care that they are made with, much better than I can do. Tom, I'm going to tell you something. It has been like therapeutic making these. I love them that much. There are some real unique things that I do to them that, and I'm not going to say, it's nothing magical, but there are certain like little tying techniques. There are certain little things I do after I tie them that they're extra things that I don't want to make it sound like they're different. They're not the same as every other jig. They're just not. I do some unique things to them. I make sure that like the way they flare is extremely important to me. That was like the big thing with all this. And I don't know, like I take extra time to do all these little things. And it's part of the reason why I can't tie them as fast. But it's kind of made me, yeah, it's my jig, and I'm proud of it. So what's going on there? Who else is the only sliding jig I have that's freshwater is the depth sliding jig. It's a finesse jig. Those yours looks a lot beefier, which I like. And you know what, Matt? The other thing is too, bud. These are 2X. So my football jigs are not 2X. They're 1X. But those slider heads are 2X. They're a must-add 2X hook. So they are a true saltwater. It's a saltwater jig, and I've just made it for freshwater. But I will tell you, I think they're 1 on, right? I'm sorry, I didn't have them in my head tonight because I'm not making those. But they're just enough where they can still be managed in freshwater. It's weird. But I like them. And, they take a little more time to tie, and there's reasons for that. And part of it is because there's not lead on the shank, and there's certain ways I want it to be reinforced. And when you tie jigs, when there's no lead on the hook, sometimes you want to bump behind it so it acts as like a support and a bear. Like there's techniques that I use at a tying that I don't know. There's important to me, right? And I didn't, I'm not the best tire in the world, but there are things about this, that flat side, that slider jig that I did certain things to that were important to me. So Frank, I feel bad every time I see your name because I know that I can't figure out the stupid ass shipping to Canada because this stupid, all these things they scare you with. But I really don't even think they open packages. So what the hell's the difference? The thing weighs X number of ounces. I'm going to have to talk with more skilled people that I know. And you mentioned Mainstreams. I'll talk to Mainstream and see if he has advice for me. And then whatever it is, we'll work it out, bud. But what else is going on? So, you guys, I told you the shows are kind of done, the way I was doing them before. I do want to get on and do some shows periodically. Hopefully, I offer a little different perspective. I don't want to bore people either. Hopefully, I offer a little different perspective sometimes of what's normally out there. I want to stay to my roots. I realized that going on YouTube was very niche for what I decided I wanted to talk about, but that's the only reason I decided to do it. So I don't know. I'm okay with that. But I do think, especially as we start moving towards winter, I think it's worthwhile for us to go and do some BSing and talking. Liz, how about it? how in God's name can somebody be living just across the border and like from the Niagara River and everything is like double? It doesn't make sense at all. I mean, it's like handing it off. It's like handing off the U.S. Post Office to Canadian Post is like under machine gun and excellent care, and I don't understand it. It infuriates me, and I'm sure part of it is just me being a scared new person shipping. To be honest. So I don't know, but I want to be able to. I want to be able to at least some of the people that've been around that really want stuff. Frank's one, other people. Hella best. When in doubt, blame the queen. Piss on the queen. Anthony, I do toaster oven. Everyone. I won't sell them unless they go in the toaster oven. Did yours get beat up at all? You can answer honestly too. You don't have to protect my ass here. Did yours get beat up at all? I do toaster oven every one. Funny enough, I actually had where I was like short an order what I was making on the jigs, and I've been making everything batch, meaning I'm making them as the orders come in, so I'm not ahead of the game. So I don't have this like stockpile. And I remember one night I was sitting there and I'm like, I freaking had one jig that I was short that I forgot to paint ahead. And I go, son of a bitch. So I literally came down here and like, I tie upstairs, right? Where's it at? So I come down here, right? And I freaking heat up one effing jig, and I go out in the garage and I put it in the toaster oven, and I baked one jig so I could finish an order. Oh yeah, and I'll tell you another thing. I'll never package things up the night I finish jigs because I put a coating on the thread. It's not the same as what you'll see on the bucktail guys and stuff, but I do put something on the threads. And to me, I just want it to set up more, so I won't take the jigs and package them that night. I don't know. Like as an example, I think my wife one time said, I said, you finished an order. You said, do you want me to drop it off at the post office tomorrow? I'm like, no, I got to let it sit and then I'll package it up tomorrow. That's how it is. I'm this boutique little new guy making some jigs. So Brendan Brown, see you, buddy. Anthony, thanks. I appreciate it, dude, because that's the feedback I want. And I'm going to tell you something. If you do order jigs for me and you have problems with them, you message me and you're getting new jigs. That's it. Not only that, I'd even make you other jigs that I normally and that I won't sell. So I make a lot of jigs, or I have. Lately I haven't been making as many. But if there's other jigs, I would literally send other jigs to you, just because, yeah, and they would be things I don't sell. And there's a reason I don't sell things because my opinion is other people sell that stuff. I don't need to do that. No one sells these colorways and these things. So, yeah, Andrew, thank you, dude. I appreciate you, bud. You've been with me since before I ever decided to do this. So, yeah, I don't know, guys. I just appreciate you. I missed everyone tonight. I had to go to some parent-teacher conferences. I came home, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go hop on and just say hi to people. I didn't see anyone else was on. I didn't want to pimp anyone's style. I'm freaking tired, man. I can barely keep my eyes open. So from here, it'll be go upstairs and chillax for a while and go to bed. But I hope to be able to get on here a little bit for the guys and gals out there. I hope to be able to get on a little bit and BS a little bit. I don't know. And I don't need to do this to talk about my jigs, I don't know. It is what it is. So I just like hearing from people. I think it'll be fun to talk a little bit. Hopefully a show once in a while offers you a little bit of an alternative to other stuff out there. I haven't been able to get on other people's shows lately. I've been so darn busy. So anyway, it was easy tonight. I jumped on Canva real quick. I made some edits. I made a thumbnail. I shot it out. I came downstairs. I had a drink. I had some DDP. I'm like, I'm all ready to go. So the kids fishing teams, Anthony, at the start of the year, they don't go into as many tournaments and stuff at the high schools. It's just kind of getting the kids acquainted because we've really only been in for like 2 weeks. Yeah, and Liz is way late. Like I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, I'll start at 9 Central. And I'm thinking, holy Christ, the East time, the Eastern time people are going to be like, what is going on? But Anthony, they'll be starting up soon. So Tom, no grades. I don't know how else to put it. I share details, but not everything. So I work in a high school, but I don't teach. I'll leave it at that. So I'm an administrator at a high school. That's what I do. But anyway, that's part of the fun. Um, you know what, Gary? It is not too much for BFS. No way. It's 1/8 ounce. That's actually a really good question, Gary. It definitely is not. And I'll tell you why. Because I throw it on a spinning rod, but I have a friend that almost exclusively throws it on a bait caster because the jig will weigh out at almost 3/16 of an ounce, but it's an 1/8 ounce jig. So when you talk about a straight up the lead and the hook, it's a straight up, it's a straight up 1/8 ounce jig, like almost on the dot, because this is being manufactured. So it's a straight up 1/8 ounce jig, and then after you paint it, tie it, put the weight on, it weighs out at almost 3/16. So, wait, you're on your way to work, Frank. Okay, well, buddy, you be safe on the overnight, my man. But yeah, Gary, you definitely could throw it on BFS. So, yes. I mean, what's Gary, curious, because I'm not a BFS guy, but I'm curious, what's the weight you would go up to on a regular BFS? Curiously. Yeah, definitely, Gary. That last thing you just said, you definitely can set the hook. So the thing is, there is this is my opinion, right? Other people could tell you whatever you want. Let me describe it this way, Gary. I'm fishing this, and you guys are gonna laugh about this, but I just want you to know that I fish this jig a lot on 8-pound mono, 6-pound mono. Just keep in mind, I said we use it on ponds and stuff like that. I have kids, you know. It's been fished on 8-pound, 8-pound braid with 6-pound leader. Maybe lower, but I don't know. But I mean, how low? 1/8 inch head weight, dude. It's perfect because you have to keep in mind too, Gare. When somebody tells you, every jig manufacturer out there, when they tell you they have let's not use 1/8 ounce as an example. When they tell you they have a 1/4 ounce jig. By the time a skirted jig, definitely a skirted jig. When you have a 1/4 ounce jig, I actually should do this on a show one night and weigh it out, right, and show everyone. When you have a 1/4 ounce jig, that's the weight before anything's done to it. If they're telling the truth, there's some companies out there that lie about the weight of their head. They say it's a 1/4 ounce and it's not a 1/4 ounce. But the industry standard is like, if you say it's a 1/4 ounce jig, that jig weighs a 1/4 ounce before you do everything else to it. That's the truth. No one goes and talks about this, but so if you're throwing a 1/4 ounce jig and then it's skirted, painted, wire tied, I guarantee that jig weighs out more than that. I'm not talking 5/16. I'm telling you that jig will weigh out more closer to 3/8. If you have a 3/8 ounce jig, it's going to weigh out closer to a 1/2 ounce, maybe just a hair short. 1/8 ounce is going to weigh out almost exactly at 3/16. That's with a skirted jig. Where you're not going to get that same feature is if it's a hair jig. A hair jig is not going to have that much of a differential. A slight one, but not as much. And I'm going to go one step further. So when people talk about throwing a 3/8 ounce jig, right? What does everyone put on the back of a jig? A trailer, right? I wish I had the scale down here when they have a little scale. I'm going to do this on a show one night. If I take a 3/8 ounce jig and I put let's just say a 3-inch chigger craw or a 4-inch, either one. And I guarantee that chigger craw probably almost weighs a 1/4 of an ounce by itself. I'm interested to see what it is. We'll do that some night. So the point I'm making is whatever people build, good night, HB, whatever people build a jig as, it always weighs more. And then the trailer they put on, it even weighs more than that. So So I guess that translates down to the BFS crew as well. You know, like if you're going a lighter weight, the good thing is, Garrett, it's an 1/8 ounce jig, right? It's an 1/8 ounce jig. Um, and I'm going to tell you features of my jig. I'm not going to tell you exactly how much, but I preached less material equals more flow in the water. And you better believe these jigs I made. Let me take this one out again. You better believe the jigs I made are like that. Um, Less material, more flow in the water. But one of the tricks about what I tied here is that I use less material, but I make it look like it's just as much or more, you know. And I don't know. I mean, that's one of my things. Like I could go on and talk about some individual features of some things I do in my tying technique and all this stuff that is different. But I'm telling you, there's at least 5 different things I do differently than any other jig maker in my stuff, and maybe something similar. But it's just there are things that you do. And to me, it was all about I'm going to call it the breast, the shoulders, call it whatever you want. But I wanted that to have a head and then a bigger body. And then as the tail narrows down as it flows through the water. And it looks like a baby shad. And keep in mind, it's a football head with a 60-degree eye. It's meant to be fished on the bottom, right? Except what people don't tell you is how often football jigs are getting swam now and what a big deal that is. And it's just, and Anthony, are you still in chat? All right, let's see what he said. Dude, so I'm going to ask a question of him. He didn't answer it right now. So he says, 10-pound braid, 6-pound floor. I'm using a softer, medium tip swimming these. The hooks are great. Anthony, you tell everyone, how does it swim? Anthony's got orders in hand. Tommy Morehouse has got orders in hand from me. How does it swim, Anthony? Say whatever you want, dude. I don't care what you say. How does it swim? He's hopefully he's slapping the keyboard right now. The hook, Garrett, definitely. I mean, it's so crazy. There are a couple of hooks that are very borderline in terms of what you can and can't do with them. And I have absolutely made sure that I have put this. It's small, dude. It's a small hook, dude. I would use this on a Ned. I would use this when it's so funny because I know I said stout, right, hook wise, but hold on, let me see. It's hard to really talk about. Nothing ever looks like it's supposed to when it's on camera. Let me turn this off. I just want to show you guys. So that doesn't look too stout, but it's at the end of like that's where it looks bigger, but it's really not. Keep in mind, if this whole thing like this from head to bottom of skirt is 2 inches. I mean, it's a small hook still, dude. It's just I'm telling you, it's super sticky, and you're not gonna have problems setting the hook. All right, Tom's gonna use his. So Anthony's saying multiple water columns under my control with a single cast after the normal hops. Yeah, it's so funny. I didn't design this for everyone to swim, but a lot of people are swimming it. That's all I'm gonna say. And the funny thing is, because it's a football head, it's got a different type of wobble as it goes through the water swimming it. So to be honest with you, a couple of friends, that's why they started using it at the ponds, because they'll cast out to a weed line and just let it sink down, or they'll cast out and they just swim it. And like it's like I personally I had a whole bunch. Do I still have them down here? I had a whole bunch. I have them upstairs. I have a whole bunch of swim jigs that I was actually making of like an old bullet head from the bullet head mold from Do It Molds. And I love that jig. I put a wire keeper in it. And it's like a classic old school looking swim jig. And I was making them in 1/4 ounce and 1/8 ounce. And I just go, I stopped freaking making them. Cause I go, I could just use this football jig and it's doing the things I want it to do. And you want it to fall faster. So the thing with a smaller jig, if you want it to fall faster, you use a straight tail. If you want to have a little bit of lift and swim it, use a paddle tail. But to be honest with you, I like swimming it with a straight tail on it. Some I have a couple friends that are using like Neds on the back of it. So I don't know, guys. All I'm saying is, listen, I started a jig show. I've been making jigs for 25 years, and I've never look at. I have never sold a jig until this. I don't know what to say. Try them if you like them. Feel good about getting a cool little package of this awesome little jig. I don't know what to say. So Anthony's saying once you figure the cadence, you're addicted. Tom, you're gonna love them. I now have stock in Kitex. Yeah, I know, Anthony. That's tough because Kitex they'll go fast. I don't know, guys. If you ever want extra pictures, you guys just hit me up, man. I'll send pictures. If you need to talk on the phone, I'll talk to you on the phone. Whatever, man. I just appreciate all you. Listen, it's 10 o'clock Central. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast, and the California boys are just sitting down for dinner. So uh, I appreciate you all, you guys. This is Jig Squad. It's nice talking to everyone, and I hopefully we get on and we're able to hang out a little bit. I want your experience with Jig Squad and us hanging out to be free. I don't want to charge you for things. I don't want to charge you for memberships. I just want you to have fun. So this is my way to have a good experience with people. And if you're ever interested in some finesse football jigs, hit me up, and I'll work on some showing you all the colorways. But besides that, be good to each other, and especially be good to well, what do we have coming up? Man, there's no more fishing. MLF's going a little bit. We got the Bassmasters. I'm excited for some guys in the Bassmasters. So maybe we'll talk about that coming up too. But you guys, I love you all to death. I'll see you guys. I'm gonna dip. Enjoy work or whatever you're doing tomorrow. Hopefully you get to fish, and peace. Let's see if I remember. Do I have an outro around here? I think I do. Outro. I'm out, yo. Peace, people. Love you all.